See you, Jules. My bags are packed. Making sure I've got some Aussie essentials with a family pack of Tim Tams.
For softballer Ellen Roberts, the Olympic dream is now that little bit closer. The bags are packed, she's fully vaccinated, and the journey to Tokyo is underway.
Last Aussie coffee with my dad.
This is the first glimpse of what life will be like for Australia's Olympic athletes coming to Tokyo. Daily PCR tests, constant mask wearing and strict controls on their movement.
We've done all the things that we possibly can in preparation for things that might happen here.
Touching down here at Narita Airport, the team becomes the first in the world to arrive for the Tokyo Olympics. There's a reasonable crowd, mostly cameras and officials, but there's huge media interest here in Japan.
皆さん笑顔でこちらに向かって手を振ってくれています。Hello, welcome to Japan.
Life inside the bubble is very different. The team has its floors of this hotel in Ota exclusively for their use. They'll stay here until around the middle of July when they'll head to the Olympic Village. Right now, this is as close as we can get to the Australian athletes. We're outside the stadium. We can't even go into the stands because of the COVID bubble. The local government here was caught off guard by the amount of interest in this visit, and they, being the first to host this COVID bubble, do not want to get it wrong. And many people are welcoming of the team, but there's some concern about the Olympics themselves.
I am a little worried. Would they have to suspend or cancel it last minute? As an individual, I think if they're going to go ahead with it, I hope they do it in a safe way that people don't get infected. I'm also worried about the Japanese staff who will be working there. I hope the vaccine rollout goes fast.
News that COVID vaccines were being diverted from elderly locals to staff working in close proximity to the team triggered some complaints to the local government, but the mayor seems very happy so far.
I've seen the Australian team a few times. You guys are really cool. I think Japan will win the Olympics, but I think you will take second place.
While it's gold thereafter, a silver medal would be a great result for the team, which has won a medal every time softball was played. And it's been a 13-year wait to get back onto the Olympic stage. The wait for Olympic organisers has only been a year since the Games were postponed in March 2020. But since then, Tokyo has lurched from one state of emergency to the next, making preparations and running test events tricky. This is Japan's national stadium. It's the almost $2 billion Australian dollar centrepiece for the Tokyo Games. Today, it's a Paralympic athletics test event, but come July the 23rd, the world's eyes will be here for the opening ceremony. What that will look like, though, is very much unclear. How many flag bearers will there be? How many athletes will there be behind them? There's still so much to work out. Organisers have been forced to ban foreign spectators and they've delayed a decision on whether any locals will fill these stands. The potential billions that would have been spent on hotels, entertainment, restaurants and tickets now all gone. Business tycoons and even Japan's second largest newspaper, the Asahi Shimbun, an Olympic partner, have all called for the Games to be cancelled. Organisers are adamant it won't come to that.
We've seen many major sporting events took place ever since the summer last year. We are quite sure that we will be able to deliver a safe and secure Games.
That optimism isn't widely shared. In the last few months, opinion polls have consistently shown a majority of Japanese don't want the Games to go ahead this year, fearful that variants will add further strain to a medical system that's already under pressure. Dr. Haruo Ozaki wants the Games to go ahead for the sake of the athletes, but says there should be no spectators at all.
In this situation, I think it's difficult to have Olympic Games which can carry out proper infection control measures. If it spreads, it will strain the medical system, and at a certain point, I think we might have to say it needs to be cancelled.
There will be 11,000 athletes which is going to compete in the Olympics. More than 4,000 athletes. We have been really working hard to establish a robust response plan in case we have such the cases.
It's ultimately up to the International Olympic Committee to call off the Games. With almost 3/4 of the Swiss-based organisation's income coming from the sale of broadcast rights, it's got plenty of motivation not to. It's banking on Japan's steadily increasing vaccination rate, now around 3.5% fully inoculated, turning around. For the Aussie athletes already here, it's something they understand but are trying to avoid focusing on. With softball out of the Olympics until Los Angeles in 2028, this year's event is increasingly important. For Stacey Roberts, it could be her third and final Olympics.
We wouldn't be putting ourselves in this situation if we didn't feel safe enough to do so. And we're following that many protocols. And look, I think the world needs a happy, inclusive event that they can latch onto and get some joy out of. And I think that's what the Olympic Games does.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.